All good. All right, guys. Look at that. Yeah, we're back. Episode number 188 of My Cup of Tea. Can you believe it, Evan?
I really can't. 188 is sounds like a big number to me. You know, bigger than 180, less than 190, still pretty big.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we're back. We're talking a number of things. We have just checked out today's brand new unexpected trailer for season 2 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. So we're gonna be chatting about that right now. Evan, you just finished watching the trailer. What do you think?
This looks great. It's pretty much the same thing that I mentioned our last trailer, where it's like, oh my gosh, contrary to season 1, where season 1 was more like a, how do I describe it? Kind of like a Last of Us, like a modern Last of Us, where it's like people walking around. You know, there's monsters here and there. Like every other episode, they'll encounter some kind of monster. I remember the one in the ice. But then in present day, it was like Godzilla, the ice monster, and then something in the finale. This looks like a monster, a central antagonist is terrorizing this season. On top of having monsters in the flashback era, the past as well, with Wyatt Russell as well. We saw some roaches, some roach beetle-like monsters with Wyatt Russell and their mom. Right? It's the one in the flashback. That's her grandma or the mom? I forget. Do you remember the one in the flashbacks? Is that their grandma or their mom?
Their grandma.
It's their grandma. Yeah. So that's very exciting. Yeah, and now she's back in the present. We see a lot of characters in this trailer as well. We see a lot of like the grandma, like in present day. We see, you know, the dad they have. He still has a lot of explaining to do with, you know, his two families bullshit. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, they're probably just not going to address it.
There's no way.
See how much of a big plot point it is. You know, I don't know. Like the more I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't know.
He's gonna die before he answers to get out of it.
We do see the whole funeral.
Evan, you might have cut out for me. As Evan is saying, though, yeah, we do see a funeral, which is a bit interesting because it's like two shots of like two people dressed all in black. It's Kurt Russell's character, and I'm blanking on her name. She's wonderful from Shogun in the first season. It's like very close-up shots of the two of them, so I feel like they're explicitly hiding the like full specter of the funeral itself.
Oh, you're talking about the funeral? Yeah, it looks like they're, you know, not telling us who died and all. But yeah. I hope it's not somebody, you know, I hope it's not the dad. I hope it's like something.
Yeah.
Meaning, I don't know how to explain it.
I was my worry thought was, oh, what if it's the brother?
Ooh, that would be tragic. I hope not, because I feel like he needs to be there. You know, he was gone during that they were stuck in the limbo zone area. He was off. Mm-hmm. Apparently now we know with like the other organization, not Monarch, I forget what Apex. And doing some rubbish stuff like that. So I feel like he has to be there as a character to explain what he's up to, stuff like that.
Yeah. I definitely don't think it's the grandmother because Kurt Russell will be way more broken up in that scene, I think, than he is.
For sure. So hopefully, I know. It's I keep forgetting. It's Anna Sawai's mom, right? Like the one that like had been taking care of her for the longest time.
Okay, that might be it.
That might be it because she seemed pretty old. We got a lot of her last season. and it would make sense as like a character passing away. It would affect a lot of the characters in the show, especially the father who's now back in the show, having a bigger role. It can affect him. It can affect Kurt Russell, who feels like obligated to help out. He'll help them out as well. So I can see it coming around full circle. So that's my leading guess. It just came to me. That's probably who it is because I'm the best at it. So but yeah. Any
from the movies.
Do we know who can be in these movies or who can be from the movies? We always talk about it. I forget.
My prevailing thing, if they're going to pull anybody, I think they'll get Rebecca Hall because she's like leading up to studying Kong by the events of Godzilla vs. Kong, which is okay. So this is interesting, right? Let's talk like big picture kaiju for this. We are still pre-Godzilla vs. Kong, but the trailer is hyping up. We need Godzilla and Kong for this story, but they can't meet yet. but we need them both. It's the Anakin and Grievous situation.
Shout out Hyperspace Hype. Yeah, I was going to mention the same thing. It's very much an Anakin Grievous scenario, which was still baffling and hilarious in hindsight. But yeah, like in this trailer, I think I asked you that same question after the first trailer where I was like, okay, are they going to team up in this? And then like you said, no. Come to this trailer, they are, kind of alluding to it, talk about like, they're playing God, the whole God context in this universe is very prevalent. But I think, they'll figure out a way for it to make sense. Whether Godzilla fights this creature in one location and then in another location they use King Kong to do the rest.
That's kind of what I'm thinking is like I think they'll have like Kong for land and then push it into the sea for Godzilla to handle too. So like you can wear it down on both fronts.
Exactly. Battle on both ends there. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. So overall, though, this trailer looks very, again, intense. Again, we're not getting... You mentioned the brother. Like, the brother could have died. We haven't gotten much of the brother in this trailer. Like, we're getting a lot of, the family stuff.
I don't know if he was in the last trailer either.
So, maybe we should put him up on the Death Watch there. But, again, what's so fascinating is that we're not getting a lot of the family drama, which is so monumental to season one. Like that season one, the family nonsense, drama, mystery, craziness, it was so paramount to what was going on. So much so that my favorite episode was like when, all the whole family fracturing starts happening in like the penultimate episode. We realize, like Wyatt Russell has been gone for a long period of time. Like, the relationships and the romance and the family of it all, it actually became increasingly engaging. So I hope they keep with it. And I hope they don't turn this into like an 8 or 10 episode version of Godzilla versus Kong or a 10 episode version of like the recent movies. Because while those work to a moderate degree as movies, I don't want it to be like a super intense action thrill ride for 10 episodes. I doubt that's the case because you can't keep up that pacing for like 10 episodes. But I'm just curious like why they are showing the drama, showing the like entanglements that we've come to know and love.
The crazy thing I'm realizing is I think we're even still before the events of King of the Monsters, the second Godzilla film, which is monumental to shake up the whole, kaiju hierarchy.
Well, you mean Godzilla King? Okay, yeah. I thought you meant King Kong. Yeah. We're post. Yeah, we are. Because aren't we in like 20, when we do our, 2017, when we do our rewatch, it's going to be fun to like keep track of all the dates and all that craziness. It's funny how.
I think it's barely like not even 2 years after the first Godzilla movie for season one.
But by the end of season one, right? Yeah, because because I think season
Well,
one for the most part takes place in like 2014 or 2015, right? I think 2015.
I think it's like a year and a half after. Which
Yeah.
after 2015.
And then everything takes place in a matter of like weeks or months, and then the end of the season is like a year and a half later. Cut to boom, or 2 years later, we're in 2017.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So yeah, it's very interesting. In 2017 or 2019 is where Apex really starts to like be the antagonist. So it could be more so the Monarch Apex fracturing developing here. Also, what's pretty interesting is that we're seeing a lot of Kurt Russell, who in the end of the season one, it's like, oh, we left him behind, da da da, and then every trailer after that is just like, oh yeah, he's back, he's back home now, he's cool. So I'm guessing he comes back at like, me too. Like I'm guessing he comes back in like the first act of episode one. Like episode one, he's back. I don't think he's gonna take like a longer episode. I wouldn't be surprised if the first scene is him in that first trailer, like coming out of the smoke, like, how do I get back home? Like, I think he gets back home really, really, really quickly. I think they wanted to get that over with really quickly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But overall, very fun trailer. Nathan and I are going to start doing our Monarch Season 1 commentary starting this week, watching the first 2 episodes. I'm excited. This show was always very fun to watch and be engaged with. It's a fun show because early on I'm like, man, it wasn't homework, but I'm watching it being like, it's fun, but it's very messy. But then as the season went on, thank God for like weekly releases, I was like, okay, hold up. This is actually pretty fun. This is actually pretty messy and pretty good. So I had a pretty roller coaster reaction to season 1. So I'm curious to see if season 2 can keep the ball rolling.
Totally, dude. I think it's definitely the best human stuff the MonsterVerse has offered.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I think after people got around to watching season 1 in its entirety, people were like, okay, wait, hold up. Is this like the best thing in the monster, in the kaiju verse? Like, hold up. Like, it might just be. Which people weren't saying that after like the first 3 episodes or something, but it grew on people, man. The characters really grew on people.
You mean that a season can grow on people, and by a weekly release, that we can build a fan base to want to tune in for more?
Wow. I think you're right there, Nathan. Correct. I think that's right on the money. But yeah, so that's interesting. That's interesting, and I'm just so glad this season's getting a season 2. And the more I watch from this trailer, the more I doubt a season 3. This season just seems so intense, so like not end of the world, but it seems so major. Just watching this trailer, I could be wrong. We could be getting a season 3 and that flashback spinoff series with Wyatt Russell. So the more the merrier. I'm always down for it. Apple TV had a big like slate presentation today for 2026. It looks pretty good. So if you have Apple TV, stick with it. There's an Anya Taylor-Joy show coming in June or July. That seems really interesting. There's a Matthew Reese show. He's from The Americans, coming out in April. I'm still waiting for Silo with Rebecca Ferguson coming out at the end of the year. So Apple TV has some good sci-fi mystery drama. Oh, there's an Elle Fanning show coming out in April or May, something like that too. So pretty eclectic slate for Apple TV. Oh, and a Cape Fear remake. A Cape Fear remake TV series with Amy Adams, Javier Bardem, and Nicole Kidman is coming out over the summer too. So
Wow.
big names, big stars, big IP, big shit happening at
Yeah.
Apple TV, guys. So we're sponsored, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Sponsored by Apple. My God. Can you imagine? That said, yeah, Monarch looks like a fun time. Remember when there was a scary time where it seemed like the MonsterVerse might stop after King of the Monsters because they weren't profiting as much here in the States?
That's wild to think about. I was right there with. I was like saying, "Oh, King of the Monsters," because I didn't love King of the Monsters, even though it looked really good and cool. And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for
Yeah.
this franchise. It's over." And
Now,
no,
dub- double-edged sword. We got Godzilla versus Kong, and everyone was, and it made great money. In the pandemic, it was like, okay, great. But unfortunately, now every project has been okay. You can't not have both of them in the same project anymore.
that's a great point. Every single project, I didn't even realize that. I mean, yeah, Godzilla versus
Yeah,
Kong, Godzilla and Kong, and now Monarch has Godzilla and Kong. Yeah,
yeah.
wow. You know,
And the
if
next
it ain't
movie,
broke, don't fix
Supernova, is going to be both of them
it. You're right. Yeah. Supernova is next year, right? Next April, next May, I think.
next year. Now, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I get a
That
trailer for Doomsday.
I would be shocked if you don't get a trailer at least by like November, I guess for that movie. If people forget, Godzilla and Kong Supernova has Caitlin Deaver in it and Sam Neill. So lock in,
I
guys.
forgot that. My
Lock in.
God.
Lock in. That's exciting.
I hope
Um,
Sam Neill plays against the Jurassic Park type, and he's like, "I love the kaiju."
is he gonna have his own podcast, Nathan? That's the question.
That's all right. We still, mind you, Brian Tyree Henry came back, but he was, we dialed him back. We smoothed out the wrinkles of the writing. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him again.
Do we know if what was his name? Dan Stevens? Is he coming back?
I think Dan Stevens is back in Supernova.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, he was cool. He was good. Um,
Yeah, fan
so
favorite
yeah,
for sure.
big
But yeah,
time.
any
Okay.
other mainstream news before entering the Marvel?
I guess we could talk about Last of Us right quick. Um, they were having this. Apple TV had their presentation. HBO had their presentation a couple days ago as well. It's that time of the year, um, and it talked about Last of Us, which is of note to us on this podcast. Because over here on my cup of tea, we like The Last of Us season 2. Uh, yeah, we support it. Great season of television. Wasn't one of my top 10 shows of the year last year, but it was still an excellent show. I had a great time watching
It was
it.
in my top 4 because I watched maybe 4 shows. It's definitely like a top for me, at least top 2.
I love that for you. But yeah, I think it was in like my top 12 or something, and I've watched like 40 shows last year, so it was a very well done show. And again, I think this show is different from the game, but
Hmm.
and there are some valid criticisms there to be had with season 2. But for the most part, I think the characterization still works, and the pacing still works, and there was a lot of great stuff. Anyways, the big thing is that last year, uh, at the same time that Neil Druckmann talked about resigning as like a writer and producer and director on Last of Us moving forward, we had Craig Mazin, that's his name. Craig Mazin at the same time said, like, okay, we're going to continue on without Neil. Neil's a bit busy on the game side of things, doing Intergalactic, the new game for Naughty Dog. But
Hmm.
Craig Mazin also talked about, hey, for the going forward, we're thinking of having season 3, maybe even season 4. And this was talked about at the end of the season. It was also talked about towards the beginning of the season. And now that we know season 2 ends pretty much at the end of Ellie's, day 1, day 2, day 3 journey in Seattle, we kind of know where the show can go moving forward. And cut to yesterday or 2 days ago, the HBO president is talking about, hey, season 3 might just be the end point after all. Which for me is a sigh of relief. Because I think we ended our season 2 podcast being like, it's not a sigh of relief because, like, oh, thank God the show can hurry up and end itself, whatever. I'm saying it's a sigh of relief because even after seeing how Craig wrote Ellie's days in Seattle, like day 1 was 1 episode, day 2 was 1 episode, and day 3 was 1 episode. Just 3 episodes for each day. That's not how I thought it would be. I thought they would stretch it out a bit more. Because I think going off my own brain memory, episode 1 of Last of Us season 2 is like, coming to town. Episode 2 was Joel's death. Episode 3 was the morning of Joel's death. Then episode 4, 5, and 6 were my back. But yeah. Episode 4, 5, and 6 were Ellie day 1, day 2, day 3. I forget, were there 6 episodes or 7 episodes? No, I'm forgetting now. I think there was a flashback episode. There was a flashback. So yeah, it was like episodes 4 and 5 were day 1 and day 2. And then episode 6 was the flashback episode. Yeah. And then episode 7 was day 3 and, the whole cliffhanger with Abby. So again, each episode got their own day. So if we try and do that for Abby's storyline, we can easily fit in the end of the show in 7, 8 episodes. Season 1 was 9 episodes. Season 2 was 7 episodes. So let's just say, for estimation sense, that season 3 is going to at least be season 7, at best 9 episodes. I could easily see that working for Abby's storyline. And the benefit for Craig and the writers is that, unlike season 2, the first 3 episodes, there's nothing that needs to get set up. We don't have to set the stage anymore. For Ellie's storyline, it's the beginning of the game. You're setting the stage in Jackson. For Abby's storyline, you wake up, boom, you're with Abby, and spoiler alert for Last of Us. For Last of Us Part 2, the game that came out in 2019 or whatever the fuck it came out. 2020. Thank you, COVID. Crazy statement.
First game I ever release spot, watching the countdown on the PlayStation Store.
That's amazing. Yeah, I definitely went to my GameStop first thing first when I woke up. So yeah, Abby's story begins with her helping Owen and her dad free a zebra in a gate, and it leads right into the day that Joel kills everybody in the finale. That'll be a fun start to the season. We kind of already got a start at the end of season 2 with the cliffhanger with Abby in the baseball stadium. So yeah, I think the episode 1, I doubt episode 1's gonna be like Abby day 1, because she's not really on the search or on the hunt for anything. Episode 1 is probably going to be Abby they're probably going to expand upon Abby's relationship with help me out, what was his name? Fucking Jeffrey Dean
Owen.
Jeffrey Wright.
No.
Isaac.
Fucking Isaac.
Isaac, yeah. Isaac, which was I think Isaac's relationship with Abby, I forget, because I know I talked about it during our season 2 discussions, but I forget what I talked about. But I think it just felt more in depth in the show versus the game. Don't shoot me.
No,
because
Isaac's pretty like loose character. I think it's like is there to like expand the ideas of like what the world is
for sure.
presently. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in the show, because I do remember one scene in the finale, Isaac is talking to a random soldier, and he's like, or it might be the finale or the penultimate episode. Isaac's talking to a soldier, and he's like trying to think of things. He's like, "Where is Abby?" And the girl's like, "Why do you care so much about Abby?" And he's like, "All this, like, I need all this. Abby needs to be here because, like, Abby, he's positioning Abby as his successor, which is
Mm.
something that we kind of can feel in the game. But Isaac is pretty underdeveloped in the game. Um, people always hate to hear criticism about part two now. Again, let me just do a small little rant. Last of Us Part 2 comes out to critical divide. It is like the last Jedi of video games. Cut to the TV show, and all of a sudden everybody's a fan of part two now. And if you criticize anything about the game, oh, you're just slurping, you're just glazing Craig Mazin, and the game's way better than the show. And I'm just like, I can objectively look at the game and say that there were flaws, even though this game is one of my top 10 games of all time. Like it's hard to find the perfect game. It's just hard, but
It's this one.
uh, I go back and forth between Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, but
Yeah.
I think Part 1 has less flaws. I think Part 1 is like a 10 out of 10, and Part 2 is like a 9.99. Like, I can look at the flaws in Part 2, but I admire it because Part 2 goes way farther narratively than Part 1 ever had to do. Part 2 was much more risk-taking and crazier on a narrative level.
Yeah.
So because of that, there are room for flaws versus Part 1, which is a fairly simple story. But anyways, so I can see episode 1 being like, okay, introducing our characters, but then like episodes 2, 3, and 4, maybe 2, 3, 4, and 5, let's just say, is all day 1, day 2, day 3 Abby stuff. I think some Abby stuff takes place over a longer period of time than Ellie's. Like the whole Abby going to like the hospital, not hospital. Abby fights the rat king in the hospital.
Yeah.
That
Oh my
could be
god.
that could be one episode. That's like day 2, I think, right? But like, there's a whole
Mm.
sequence where like going into the skyrise, falling down, the whole hotel horror sequence, the whole Seraphite invasion stuff. I think they're really going to dive into the Seraphite stuff, which was teased to us in season 2. They actually just cast somebody for a major Seraphite character
Mm.
today. I'll pull them up as I'm talking. But they also had to recast Falcon. What's his name? Help me out here.
Joaquin Torres is the character's name.
Joaquin Torres. They recasted him. Danny Ramirez, right? Is that his name? Danny Ramirez?
Yeah, that's right. Daniel Ramirez.
Because he's busy filming something Marvel related.
Doomsday. Secret Wars.
But either way, which was unfortunate because I thought he was really good in season 2.
Yeah.
But they casted Clea Duvall, who will play a Seraphite in The Last of Us. She looks familiar. I've probably seen her or some shit.
Clea Duvall.
Clea Duvall. She looks familiar. But people are saying she's probably going to be the one in the scene where they're, when they have Yara hung up and they're about to kill Yara, and then Lev comes in. It's the iconic hammer scene with Abby and Lev.
Right.
So it could be that. She looks familiar. I don't know.
She's in Argo. Never seen Argo.
I've never seen Argo either.
She's in Zodiac.
I do love Zodiac. Okay.
Anyway.
But yeah, Jorge Lendborg Jr. will play Danny Ramirez, or replace Danny Ramirez in The Last of Us season 3. Yeah, not again, he was great, but we hardly saw Danny in season 2, so not too big. Even though I don't know who this guy is.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully he surprises me. But yeah, anyway, sorry to keep going off. But I think episodes 1 through 5 can be Abby stuff. I say 5 because I think we're gonna have an individual episode all about Seraphites. I think we'll go into Lev and Yara's home life. We never see
Yeah.
Lev and Yara's mom in the game. We
Yeah.
know Lev goes back. He goes back to see his mom. It doesn't go well. We see Lev after having come back from his mom. Trying to, I think, does he kill his mom in the game? I don't know. I forget what's going on. But either way, we save Lev and Yara, or Yara dies. We save Lev. We come back, and then we get a theater sequence. But so 1 through 5, Abby storyline. Episode 6, let's say, is the farm. It doesn't need to be 2 episodes. The farm is really short in the game, so it can be.
Yeah.
They can expand on that easily. Episode 6 can be the farm, and then for the last act of the game, you could do that in 1 episode. To be frank, you could do Act 4 in 1 episode, but I don't know.
I think it's
I think you can do that 1 episode.
I know it's a big I think you're Abby, right? Where you're running around the beach house trying to take out everybody.
No, you're Ellie, but Abby gets there first. Abby's there first, and then her and Lev get hit up by the Rattlers.
Because
I mean, sequence. But then
because I don't think, just with the flow of it, I don't think you would just leave a penultimate cliffhanger to them about to fight in the water. I feel like if you're there, you gotta just commit to the scene. I don't think you can just stop mid because then you go into the fight and it's okay, we're
Nathan, are you still there?
a long wrap up to go after that.
Oh, you froze on my screen. Are you back? Nathan's still frozen. I'll keep on talking. But yeah, I do agree with what Nathan was saying though about Act 4. You're in that scene. You're in that area. I forget, is it Santa Barbara? You're in that area with a very revenge-soaked Ellie. I doubt you'll have any room to just pause it, cut, or whatever. Just soaking that menace of what Ellie is going through for 1 episode, and that can kind of be your finale episode. Again, some things will have to change. I'll wait till Nathan gets back to talk about that. But I think Ellie versus Abby in Santa Barbara can be your penultimate episode or your finale. Oh, Nathan's back.
I'm back. We're good.
Yep, we're good. But yeah, so I think we're talking about the same thing, right? About just sit in that single episode, just stay there.
I heard you all the time.
Okay, cool.
So good.
Yeah, I think here comes the people being upset about this being 1 episode. I think because not that much happens, right? A lot of the Santa Barbara Act 4 Ellie stuff is very gameplay action driven. We're there and we just murder everybody. I don't think that's necessary. Oh, how do I phrase this? Okay, so the Rattlers are very bad people. They're very they're not complex characters. They're just ruthless, post-apocalyptic people who chain people up and kill people, whatever. They hang people up on pillars, as we see what happened with Abby on the beach. So I don't know, but the Ellie that we have in the show wasn't, willing to have Ellie even murder a lot of the wolves in season 2, much to a lot of people's dismay. They wanted Ellie to kill a lot more people in season 2. That didn't really bother me. But coming to season 3, I don't mind Ellie. I think they're probably gonna do the same thing. Ellie is probably not gonna kill as many people. They'll probably have the sequence where she's on the tree and the guy tries to stab her. I love that scene.
Oh God, so good.
It's so good. It's brutal. It's bloody, and then she like stabs him, and then like pushes him towards a
We should
clicker.
we should commentary the cutscenes.
We really should. I think we talked about that because it's pretty fun and interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. But what's it called? So yeah, not too much happened. Like that's like one cutscene, the tree sequence. The rest of it is all gameplay. Then we get to like the jail where we're like, we free the people, the prisoners, and we're like, where is Abby? And then they're like, the person you described might be down by the beach. We go to the beach, we see people hung up, we see Abby, we take her down, we box, and that's it.
Yeah. Fight me.
Again, fight me, right? Like that's like a 40-minute episode, 35. Like
it's so this is also interesting, is like we're equating like what, how long everything can like fit into place that we haven't yet adapted, but we don't also consider the new stuff that they could plug in, right, to expand the media of it all. Because we could do like whole new flashbacks. I imagine they're probably going to add some type of Joel scene in again.
Good point. Yeah. Oh yeah. So there's a couple of things that they could adapt, right? So I think for Abby stuff, they're gonna make some Seraphite change, some Seraphite lore. I still think we could get like a Seraphite backstory to like the origins of the Seraphites.
Ooh,
That could be kind of fun. Or Craig wants to leave that mysterious. I don't even know, but I think it would be really fun for the show to just like actually dive into that, where the game showed a lot of restraint, which I know it's gonna be controversial because like the game shows restraint until like by how the Seraphites came to be, because it's a lot of like he said, she said, and Ellie has no business, or even Abby has no business getting into the bottom of like what really happened. It doesn't really matter. It's just that these two people are at war. But I think it could be a really fun thing to see explored. If you trust Craig as a writer, I do. But the big part though we have to talk about is with the Ellie and Abby fight. The reason it stops is because Ellie cuts back to that vision of Joel, that scene that we got in the finale of season 2 already, where Ellie Joel finally apologizes to Ellie. It's my favorite scene in the history of Last of Us. We got it in the show. I loved it in the show. And now we said in season 2, balls in your court, Craig. Like, because Neil's gone. I know it frightens a lot of people who don't trust Craig, but now the ball's in his court. Can you surprise people? What's going to pull Ellie out of the funk? You have to create an original scene. And an original scene that's just going to automatically be compared to the masterpiece that we got in the game. That's an impossible task. I'm nervous.
It's just going to be a Ghost Joel's hand on shoulder in the water.
Oh, God.
That's not bad, but like comparatively, it's not as great.
It's not as great, but like it has to be an original scene, which I think is fine. People really like, they like Joel. Original scenes gives audiences and game players like a blank slate to be like, okay, let's see how this goes. And there's a lot of scenes, right? There was 5 years between Ellie and Joel not getting along, or Ellie and Joel just being at Jackson. So it could be a scene of them like before the schism, like before Ellie finds out.
Yeah.
Or it could be afterward. It can't be afterwards, actually, because they don't talk. Yeah. So I don't know where it could be. Or I would really love it if it's a scene from like season 1, like during their OG adventure that we never, there's like, there's unlimited amount of scenes that we could have gotten on their way to Utah, on their way to the Cure or whatever. Any random scene from season 1 that like wasn't filmed, could be in there. Like a lovely memory of Joel.
Totally. How would you feel if this was like a brand new scene and then it comes out that this is a scene we're planning for the third game?
Like you're saying, like it won't be in the game now; it will just be in the show. Is what you're saying?
No, like they make an original scene that we first are presented in season 3 of the show, and then they're like, but yeah, we actually are gonna have that scene plugged into a narrative story for 3 if we get to video game.
I wouldn't mind it, but I wouldn't want it. Ironically,
Okay.
um,
You feel like you
I
want to like experience that within the game context of like Ashley and Troy.
yeah, I want to see what Neo and them can come up with this with the season 3,
Yeah.
or with the part 3, which I think is like less likely as the years go by, because Naughty Dog has spent like they said they started Intergalactic that next game since like 2022 or 2021. It's been
Yeah.
so long. It's 2026 right now. The game should be out by now. Um, so I think that's like their next big franchise, and anything after this is going to be whatever. But at the same time, Neil did say like there's more Last of Us stuff cooking outside of the shows, and that was all he left us with. And now that Naughty Dog has expanded, there are different teams within Naughty Dog. Excuse me.
Mm.
That are working on different projects. So not everybody at Naughty Dog's working on Intergalactic. So you never know. We could get a new Uncharted. We could get a new Last of Us down the line. So
Crash Bandicoot 5.
a new Crash Bandicoot. You never know. A new Sly Cooper. No, not Sly Cooper. Jack and Daxter is what I really want.
There you go.
That'd be awesome. Sly Cooper, Sucker Punch. But either way, again, I just want to say I am excited for season 3. Caitlin Dever headlining her own show. It's not the first time. She's done it on Netflix. She's done it in movies a lot. Like Caitlin Dever can headline anything. She's amazing. In just a few minutes that we got of Abby in season 2, I'm like, oh wow, I really like this version of Abby. It's a different Abby, right? Because like this Abby is more cocky, arguably more cockier than Game Abby. I wouldn't say more brutal, even though she was beating on Joel more in the show than in the game. The way she stabbed Joel versus the game where she didn't stab Joel, that was crazy. The monologue she had, like there's some interesting stuff to explore there. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention for Abby's storyline, I wonder if we'll get a single episode of like the Owen and Abby flashbacks, or if they will be spliced at the start of the episode, kind of like how season 2 had like 5-minute opening with Isaac's character, 5-minute opening with some other character, then cut to Ellie's adventure. So either way, I think there's a lot to explore with Abby stuff. Abby stuff is some of my favorite parts of the game. So yeah. That's my Last of Us spiel. I love this show. I love this series. So I don't want to spend any more time than we have to. Let's talk about another great show. Let's talk about Wonder Man. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
We're in it. We're in the episode. The secret episode 9.
We're in it. We're in it. Oh shit again. Double O shit. Oh shit.
Yeah. Was gonna keep the text over us the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. But great color format. Great overlay. I love this. Great shit. Great shit. You'll never see Nathan coming.
America.
America.
Speaking of America, I just finished the other day. I finally saw Alex Garland's Civil War. Very good.
Oh, what'd you think?
Very good.
I liked it a lot too.
Very interesting. I think like the marketing pivots you to be like, this is going to be like very intense, like all out warfare. It's like, well, it's journalists.
Yeah.
But it could be on your home front to the horrors of war. Very good.
It was very good. Wagner Moura, Kaylee Spaney, Kirsten Dunst, all good. Jesse Plemons, horrifying.
Yeah.
And I love the ending with Wagner Moura and Nick Offerman. Any last words? Like,
I need a quote. Please don't let them kill me. That'll do. Oh.
That'll do. That's so good. So good. So good. But yeah, we are here to discuss the MCU's latest show, Wonder Man, the first. And this is crazy. This is the first show of 2026 for the MCU, which has a pretty sizable slate this year. We have Wonder Man, which we're going to talk about today.
Yep.
They have Daredevil Born Again Season 2 coming out March 19th, I think. Coming out March. And then we have X-Men 97 in the summer, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man in the fall.
There'll be a Punisher special and
Punisher
Vision
special.
Quest.
I keep forgetting about Vision Quest. You're right. Yeah. I say all that to say, can anything beat Wonder Man? Because this might be, and I was talking to Dylan about this, this might be my new favorite MCU show. I say MCU because, you know, Daredevil, Netflix, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are like in a league of their own, given like their episode count. And I separate Daredevil Netflix from Daredevil Born Again. Because season 1 wasn't that great. But yeah, like
scale is so heavy with season 3.
Say it again.
Season 3 Daredevil top of the scale was so heavy.
It did. But yeah, Wonder Man is just like, I think I go like now. I'm gonna start off with the ranking because I can't help it. But like Wonder Man, Loki season 1, and Miss Marvel, depending on the day. Those are my top 3. Everything else is like a solid 7, you know, or 8 out of 10, or below. But Wonder Man for me is just like a flat out 10 out of 10. Like I can't. It's my first 10 out of 10 show of the year. Not a lot of flaws with this show. I think everything is just so beautifully written. It's natural, and I want to clarify. I don't think this is the best MCU show because, quote unquote, it doesn't feel like a superhero show. I hate when people say that. Like, I get it. It's not really, it doesn't feel like it because it's not like lasers in the sky type shit. But it still does feel like a comic book show. It has that in its heart, in its DNA. But what makes this so different is that we get to actually fully experience and live in the life of Simon Williams and really enjoy the dynamic, the bromance between Simon and Trevor in a way that's super genuine, sincere, heartwarming, heartbreaking, emotional, compelling, all the adjectives for this relationship that carries with us from episode 1 to episode 8. And also, I watched this in like 2 episode batches, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. And a lot of the time, those episodes went right along with each other. Each episode, even though this was a binge format, really dealt with something that was troubling Simon or that motivates Simon in a way. And I think every episode has something important to say, which I can't say for a lot of MCU shows or even shows in general these days. I always say this, but like TV should have something to say in each episode. And again, although this was a binge format, there was something important of gravitas to note in every episode that added to Simon's character, that added to Trevor's character, or added to them both. It is just such a phenomenal show, just from start to finish. It's funny, emotional. There's no weak point with this show. I don't know what to say. This show is amazing. It's incredible. I loved it. So I yield the floor.
Oh, he yields his time. Well, I like this quite a bit. Yeah. Put ass. Anything Feige makes is ass.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So I found one guy on Letterboxd that was just that, and I was like, God, get help. Seriously, like if that's just like your whole thing and vibe. Just like grow up, like straight up, grow up.
Yeah, this is not the universe for you. Then goodbye.
Yeah. But I'll watch them all anyway.
Right.
No, yeah, this was phenomenal. This is a great character piece for Simon Williams. I didn't expect to be like so enthralled as much as I was with the character because they really spend like your core thing is the focus of the developing mentor friendship between Simon and Trevor, which is also amazing what they've done with the character of Trevor. Like who's was primarily like a joke in the last two film appearances he's been in, and then we bring him here, and it's just full blown. Like, yeah, no, he is a troubled person who had a troubled past, and he wants to just move on from it, but the world won't let him. And Simon, who is a refreshing, flawed protagonist, who he's the struggling actor of it all, but he also has like that ego stuff with him. Where think back to like the scene where he meets up with his girlfriend at the bar, and he's just like, "Yeah, man, my suit was like 500 million. That's crazy." It's like, okay, we don't need that right now.
I literally sorry to interrupt, but like
Yeah.
I watched that scene yesterday. Jalen and I we call that scene, we call that in real life, like you're comparing and comparing and contrasting. Like,
Yeah.
or it's the compare and contrast, or it's like the one upper. It's like you never want to be that guy who one up somebody. It's like, oh man, Nathan, I had a very bad day today, and then Nathan's like, you had a bad day. I did this. Like, you never want to like one up somebody when they're just trying to genuinely talk to you. And then especially here, it's like you don't want to compare and contrast your experience with her. You should just ask her, hey, how was your day? Hey, how did you do it? But that's not who Simon is, and that's why we're in Dear.
Now, mind you, she got a role on Severance, so she's doing good.
Really good. Really good. That's crazy.
One of the actors of that show who will be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's funny to think of like what's canon of like real things in the MCU to like in it all. Like Josh Gad is like canonically dead in the MCU, I think. That's
Where
crazy.
is he? Where is he?
Because on my second look through of the doorman incident where like he like spits out, I was like, is it in black and white because that's blood and they couldn't do that? Oh, did he just assimilate Josh Gad? Oh no,
that's terrifying.
we got somebody in the chat named Bassy. What's up, Bassy? Welcome to the chat.
What's up? Can you pull up the comment? I don't see the comment.
I can. There is a comment, and then it looks like you're speaking the Spanish, unsure of the translation present. I am learning, but we are happy to have you, sir.
Bueno means good. Pearl means I don't know. Puro. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.
Man. Thank you.
Do we know what happened to DeMar Dorman Jackson? Is he just gone?
I think he's just like blacklisted and like constantly surveyed. He's just not like of the public appearance anymore. They got him, as Ted would say.
Part of me thought we would see him in like the damage control place in the finale, but he never showed up.
True. What best to say? You, gracias.
Don't you live in Florida, Nathan? That's terrible.
I'm learning, and this is how bad I'm like 140 days streak into Duolingo, and I am still. You really have to like commit to like learn. If you don't,
I took 5 years, 4 to 5 years of Spanish, basically. I mean, I know no se hablar inglés. I know that, but yeah. Anyways, like continue. Like, were you still going somewhere with that?
Yeah, I was just saying the praises of the show. It's just it's phenomenal work. I like seeing the the not perfect characterization of a character, but they mean well. They just
Yeah.
have like some work to do with them. I think what I especially love, I think this is the scene that moved me the most, is when Trevor is at Simon's mother's birthday party, and his mother
Mm.
and Trevor are in the kitchen together, and she's telling the story of how when he was a kid, I thought he was okay with his movies, is like his Criterion collection, the posters on the wall and everything. I thought I know we laugh because we're fucking Criteria cracked, but you know, saying like I thought he didn't mind being as alone as he was because he had all that, but he had that pain in him, and like that I was like, God, is that me too? So we all like, we reach emotionally to the movies and whatnot, especially with me personally from a young age. So that really moved me. I was like, she said that, and I was like, oh no, there's something broken in me. Like this is a really like well written show, man.
That was a beautiful scene. I think that was in episode 3. Bye bye. Thank you for coming. Um, I think that was episode 3, and the beauty of that was like I watched episode 3 and 4 back to back, and those
Mhm.
two episodes really coalesced to describe Simon's like the pressure that he's under,
Yeah,
both at home within himself, with like as you mentioned, the scene with his mom, like the powers within him, the family pressures with his brother. Like, is his dream the right thing? His mom's like struggling, but also wanting to support Simon's dreams. His brother is in a quote unquote more successful uh, vocation. So
yeah,
it's like it's pretty difficult for Simon there. He having trouble with his brother. Then episode 4 comes around, the dormant episode, and even though
yeah,
Simon's not directly in it, it talks about like the pressures of being superpowered superpowered individual, so much so that his dream of being an actor is hindered by him having to have this whole mega secret. If that gets out, his dream is shattered. So it's like
yeah,
a lot of his pressures start to really come together in both of those episodes. I really, really liked that. Episode 3 was just
yeah.
such a strong episode. Trevor going to his family's house, and I did like, they could have written the brother to be so cliche, right? Like that's
Hmm.
easy cliche right there to write, where it's like, oh, you should stop acting, whatever, whatever. But
Yeah,
they wrote him still in a very like loving way by the end too, where it's like, oh, my brother talked to the reporter, but he said some awful things. But no, he spoke very highly of you. He said
yeah,
he had his doubts, but he still had lovely things to say about you, which I thought again was so beautiful. And then at the end, when he says like, "Great job, Simon, you were fantastic out there. Dad would have been proud." Like it felt
yeah,
very genuine. Like they do have a loving relationship. You're gonna have that strife as like your older brother who's taking care of the family, who's paying a lot for Simon's stuff. Like
mm,
you can understand his anger there. And Simon's in a job where it's really tough. Less than 5% of actors actually hit the big time. So you can
yeah,
understand his anger. But at the same time, as show watchers, we really want to root for Simon either way. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, let's talk about how interestingly flawed Simon is as a character. I really like this. Because like he's not your like I want to be a superhero, right? Like he's not your
yeah,
Kamala Khan.
yeah,
Um, he's not like Matt Murdock, where it's like something bad happened to his dad, and now he has to save people, right? He
yeah,
is suppressing his powers to uplift his normal, still out of reach dream of being an actor. Um, and although that's a very admirable dream, his social skills are not great. Uh,
yeah. He
the
doesn't have
first,
any friends.
he doesn't have any friends, which stems from like him having to hold that secret of his powers, and at the
Yeah,
same time, just him as a person, just like he's a very timid person. He's not as like instantly gravitational as
yeah,
somebody like Trevor, who just talks and can walk and command any room he walks into. That's just not who Simon is. It's not who I am either. I'm not a Simon kind of person, but I'm definitely not a Trevor.
Uh-huh.
It takes a lot out of me to be like a Trevor. Like, oh, it is way out of my comfort zone. Is just introvert extrovert type shit. Um,
Yeah.
but what makes Simon so interesting is that like he's not just an introvert. Like he comes across as a dick to a lot of people. His manager, pulling that stunt with his manager, like calling his manager's friend to get that part in Wonder Man, get that audition was crazy. I love
Genius.
that. It was genius as hell. The way he was driving. That scene, by the way, was really well shot too. Where he's
Yeah.
driving, it's like all one take. It looks like it at least.
Yeah.
It was all really cool. But also, Nathan, just like the very first scene we see of Simon in Hollywood, where he has like this bit part in what was
American
it,
Horror Story.
American Horror Story, and he's just like, you know, he has one line basically where he's a professor talking to some actress. His job is
Yeah.
to get his head chopped off or eaten,
Yeah.
and he is still arguing about one line. Like, would he really read the Aztec though? Like, it's not a
and,
process.
and this is like the brilliance of Yaya's performance here is like you can tell this is not him being an asshole. He genuinely feels he needs to understand every aspect of the character to give the best performance, but it's
Yeah,
getting in the way of like the entire crew, and it's costing the studio money, and it's just like creating a hindrance. And again, it's that social skill blocking, and also to his own like acting prowess, like which Trevor helps bring out of him the confidence to be more spontaneous and not plan every little intricacy, because you're not going to get much of anything out of yourself just doing that.
yeah. Be more spontaneous. Be more in the moment, which is very hard for an actor. It's not for everybody, but it is a universal skill to have as an actor. You're gonna have to. You can't just prepare for every single role performance you do. Um,
It's funny. I felt a lot like Simon watching this show whenever they like jumped into doing line readings, because I was like, fuck, I can't connect with this take because I don't know the bigger picture. Like from my director standpoint, I'm like, I need to know the story. Like if I wrote the script, I would understand how this fits, but because I don't, I'm like, fuck, is this a good take? I don't know.
yeah. I do love that in shows and movies when you're watching somebody perform and you like, I think this is a good performance, and usually you can get clued into like, oh, this actor who's acting in a part is actually hitting that performance because like the music rises, usually the camera
Yeah,
zooms in, and you can tell like, okay, this is a good. The show is trying to tell me this is a good performance, but sometimes you just don't know. But yeah, that's a very good point, Nathan.
yeah,
But yeah, I just love that. Like that first scene is such good writing because you instantly get to know who Simon is in this first scene. Yeah, he can
yeah,
be a dick. Yeah, he can be annoying. But as you said, he's genuinely trying to perfect a craft that he obviously loves a lot. He wouldn't be trying this hard if that
yeah,
wasn't the case. And at the same time, the reason he has these social flaws is because he doesn't have a lot of friends to bounce like those flaws off of, to workshop that shit, throughout high school and stuff like
yeah.
that, in college. Um,
I'm sure also that if they like were to go even deeper, like say if this was like a 22 episode season, like a
yeah.
classic show, um, I imagine they would probably also go into a bit where Simon probably wants to be the best he can of an actor because his father saw such promise of him as one from a young age, and he wants to live up to that ideal that his father saw him as.
Well, totally. I completely agree. His father was a shining light, a shining beacon for Simon throughout this entire series. I loved the scene. Was it in the finale where we get to explore larger
Yeah, it's opening.
Simon and his dad going to the movies to see Wonder Man for the first time? His father, just that heartwarming father son moment. Simon really wanting to be an actor because, as you mentioned, it's like somebody his father really looked up to, or it's a field his father really admired and looked up to, and something his father
Yeah,
saw in Simon. I really love that. He was like, uh, I'm not one of those parents who says, "Oh, you can do it because you're great at everything." It's like, no, I genuinely think that you're different, Simon. You are really good at acting. I really like what you can do, which is
You're
such
a
a
mutant, Simon.
yeah, you're a wizard. Um, it's such a sweet notion because you do get parents like, oh, you can be an astronaut, you can do whatever you want, which is usually a load of bullshit. Um, but Simon's dad is telling them like genuinely, like, hey, you are different, and not different because of superpower, different because you're a good actor, you're a good person. I think you can be really good at this, um, which is just such a crazy, cool, just take. And then
Yeah,
I just really like what he did for his powers in general with the show. This show is just so. I can't think of anything else like it. The finale didn't have a mystery, right? There was
yeah.
no mystery
Right.
to be had. There was no secret villain. There was
No
no
final
big
battle.
final. There was no final battle, right?
The battle within.
The battle was it was more so like a battle within necessarily,
Yeah.
and the big showcase of his powers is like freeing his best friend, which was so
Yeah.
sweet. Oh, Nathan, I didn't even ask Nathan this. I am ashamed of myself. Nathan, uh, cry counter. Did you cry this series?
I got misty eyed from the scene with in the kitchen with his mom and Trevor, the one I
Okay.
was talking about. Other than that, I did not cry, but I was so emotionally invested the entire way. Hell, they had me like through a loop. Like they like Wonder Man released, and then he's doing like this research for a role, and I'm like, where are we going?
Yeah,
Because it goes for a bit, and I'm like, oh, okay,
I, I um I was emotionally triggered when we got to Trevor playing the Mandarin to save Simon. I
mm.
was like, "Don't do this! Don't do
that
this!
it
He's doing
that
this!
does
Oh no!"
that does
I
hurt.
was on the verge. I was on the verge.
That hurts so bad because you know how much Trevor's trying to put it behind him, and like he even says like I've come back to the States to like prove to my mom that I wasn't like wasting this opportunity, and like to prove to her like I could truly do this and it wasn't for nothing. And now he has to like throw it away again visually to the nation to save his friend.
Oh, like that scene in the finale really got me. So again, so genius to have that in the first 10 minutes of episode 8,
Yeah,
and then the rest of it being like a flash forward.
yeah,
Um, but also, uh, the scene just with Trevor struggling to tell and admit to Simon what really happened.
yeah,
I thought that was a cool thing about like episode 7 being all about the reporter really trying to shadow Simon, and Simon being so nervous about that, only for the
yeah,
Uno reverse card to be about no, she's really going to actually grill Trevor, not
Trevor,
Simon.
yeah.
And Trevor's hit like, and I
I'm no
paused.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I don't know scared. I didn't kill any pigeons. Um,
What was Ryan know?
yeah, I paused it because Jalen and I were like, and this was the bad thing because I'm like, and this is more of a dig about myself, but
Oh,
I was like, Trevor, just lie. But I know there comes a point where you just can't keep lying anymore. So I'm
yeah,
happy that he couldn't just lie on the spot. Like I would have just lied, and
uh,
I would have told Simon like months down the line or whatever, like, hey, I'm sorry, whatever. But like, I really admire Trevor.
we parted ways with Evan on the podcast. No, no, no. I see what you mean. It's like the struggle is real, and like narratively, you don't want the emotional break to come to a head between these two because you love their
No,
friendship so much.
exactly. Yeah.
That's my favorite part about that scene too. Is like after the point when Trevor's trying to explain, like I didn't know you at first when this started, but and then he's like, I'm gonna try to find a way to fix this, and Simon immediately asks how, and Trevor's like sitting there and he's struggling. He's like, I don't know. He's like pound his fist. He's really trying to think about it, but he can't come up with it. Or if he is, it's what he's about to do that's a big sacrifice for him. Like to the end of his days. But he does it, and that's incredible story. And I think it's also brilliant that like the entire set sides of the audition are between Wonder Man and Barnaby, their characters having a falling out as well within the context of that story and how that interludes. And I love when like they're chasing down the kid in the GoPro and he says like, oh, Barnaby betrays Wonder Man, and Simon pulls over, he's like, but that's his only friend. And that's true of Simon right now.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Barnaby Wonder Man symbolism throughout the entire season was so prevalent, and yeah, that entire penultimate episode is all about like Simon in the trailer being like, I can't get this line right, Von Kovac. It's like, would Simon say like you're dead to me, Bartleby? Like, and then Trevor's like, he'll say like I'll never forgive you. And I'm like, I know what's gonna happen now. Simon's gonna say that to Trevor, and Trevor, he's not gonna be able to forgive Trevor. It's like it's gonna be heartbreaking. And
it's even worse. It's even worse because
yeah.
after Simon's about to leave the train, he's like, "It was a hell of a performance." Like, oh, don't do that to me. And then the exertion of the power buildup is really good because we've seen like examples of that. Whether it's like we saw like the crack on his wall in the apartment, which first happens off screen, and then he destroys the kitchen island in his mom's house, and like all of these are like very like emotional strikes. Which that's the whole thing is like it's his emotions bubbling over when he's overwhelmed. So the fact that they outburst in the most like emotional settings are very powerful, especially when they're used so sparingly. And then when you get to the point where he blows up the entire like studio interior,
shit.
Man, like I was like so stunned when you cut to like the wide on the outside and just like I thought the building was going to go down for a second. It was very, very worrisome.
Me too. They played it so real. It wasn't just like a boom. Well, something blew up. Like it was actually a bigger plot point. And yeah, I think his powers were they like atomized? Like did some things disintegrate in that vicinity? It didn't just blow up, right?
I think they did. Like yeah, I think it's just like the inertia, like the force of like output, just kind of made everything crumble.
Mm-hmm.
Which that is like powers. That's quite dangerous, quite powerful, quite ready for Doomsday.
Simon Williams will return. Yeah, he's a very powerful figure. I think the director, showrunner, not Destin, but somebody was talking about how they would love to have Kate meet up with Simon. That'd be very fun. I love Haley Steinfeld, and Haley Steinfeld and Yaya would be so fun together.
That would be fun. They are. I have heard him. Wonder Man be tossed around the idea of like being in the West Coast Avenger roster
with your Shang-Chi, Simon, Kate,
Ant-Man,
if he's still doing stuff. Probably just gonna be
Cassie.
Yeah. What's her name? Stature?
Yeah.
I never really liked the word stature for a hero's name. It's really weird.
It's fair. I'm indifferent. I don't really like follow character stature often. So
it's like stature, like size, like your stature. Anyway.
Yeah, because she grew up big. I guess it's better than just being a giant man.
Yeah, good point. But yeah, their dynamic was so fun. I also want to mention how episode 5 was so chaotic. That scene with they're chasing the GoPro around.
Yeah.
What a fantastic, funny, like intense episode.
So that was a funny thing too. I'm watching and I'm so engrossed by this point, seeing them run around. I love watching this duo. And then the guy was like, they're in the club and the guy's like, I've automatically set the upload on YouTube. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, did you already transfer it off the GoPro? Like,
Nathan, thank you. I'm watching it. I'm like, bullshit. I'm like,
exactly. But they're so out of it, and that becomes the plot. It's like, no, he can't do that. Oh, we got screwed. All right.
Yeah, because Jalen was like, maybe he just because like there was a period of time when the guy was like waiting for Simon and Trevor to follow him into the club. So I'm like, maybe he just like transferred it into his phone and he just did it like on his phone real quick on like the YouTube app. So maybe he could have done that. But yeah, I'm just like, that's bullshit. Like that's really, really fast to like set that automatic upload. Bullshit.
Unless he has
Um,
another guy he passed it to go do that. Like,
right. Yeah. But it was as the episode really stuck with me because that was just very funny. It felt like watching like a Marty Supreme or Good Time, kind of just things just like happening so fast.
it's also
Meanwhile,
funny
Simon
how
just got this part. He's trying to memorize his lines.
yeah, and it's funny how like Trevor is so easy to like sway on a dime. They gave him like a pitch ring, and they were like, "Oh, what? Actually, we aligned ourselves with the asshole." And then later, like the gang comes up and like, "We're gonna kill your friend." Trevor's like, "Please do." Trevor.
Like Trevor, relax. Um, that shit was so funny because yeah, the cops start coming. What's it called? There's like bad people who are chasing after Trevor are here. Or like, it was so chaotic. I really love that episode.
It's so good. By the way, not that we didn't already know what a phenomenal actor Ben Kingsley is.
Oh my god,
But oh my god, he is just like effortlessly infectious and energetic and killing it in this role. And he's 80. Did you know this?
he's 80.
He he's like he's either 79 or 80 last I looked, and my god, he is just like graceful as ever.
Graceful as ever, man. That's like he looks really good in this show. He was excellent. Um, hopefully they can film a season 2 real quick.
Dark mindset.
I mean, I don't mean to be dark, but it's just like
It is reality. I see what you're
it's
saying.
reality. Like Sir Patrick Stewart, same thing. Where it's like he's kind of like done. Ian McKellen, they're kind of like at the end of the ropes there. So it's just like you want to film something. Not everybody can be like Harrison Ford, who's like somehow still doing stuff.
Or Dick Van Dyke.
Or Dick Van Dyke. So it's marvelous. Like yeah, I really hope they can get a season 2 because their dynamic is just so special. I want to see where that goes in a possible season 2. Also, just in general, what were your thoughts on episode 4, the Doorman episode?
Interesting. I thought my brain is stupid sometimes on first watch throughs because like I forgot they established the doorman clause in the first like episode when he goes to the audition. So the fact that this is all about that, obviously like it makes sense, but like in the moment I'm like, oh, we're taking a step away to look at something. Okay, wonder what's the causality of this. Is this like I was also like, is this a movie within the universe? What am I checking out here? But as it goes on, it obviously becomes clear this is about the registration against heroes being actors, which is very unfortunate. And you definitely see the how Simon is affected by the end of that. And I believe that's also where he had one of the public instances of his powers. It says it was like in a porta potty on set of The Rookie, which I think is what that he was filming at the end of that episode.
Yep. So yeah, he's struggling. But yeah, I really liked episode 4 because it's black and white. We're showcased to a totally different actor than Simon. But we really get to understand like the short and sweet of like that tragic journey with him. Where it's like, oh, just superhero the consequences, I guess, of like superhero notoriety, becoming so famous and then just not knowing how to live the life afterwards. It was so fascinating, and unexpectedly funny with the Josh Gad stuff because everybody's reaction was just, oh shit! Like I can't imagine if that happened in real life. That'd be the craziest thing in the world. It's like Tom Cruise appeared. Like what the fuck?
If I heard Olaf himself singing one of the Frozen songs in the club, what?
Crazy.
It was so funny. I also like the line. He's like I can't act. Look at me, I can't act. Didn't stop me from becoming an actor. Every time, so funny.
Yeah, I miss Josh Gad. Good shit. But yeah, overall, man, this show is excellent. Again, it's so surprisingly thematically rich every episode. Again, even the chaos of episode 5 is still so thematically rich because we're getting to see just how close Trevor and Simon really are in that one random episode. And then episode 6, I really like episode 6. I think that's the Von Kovac
Yep.
episode where he's at Von Kovac's house.
Yeah.
And that was very fun and interesting too. Simon's just so in his head. And I like living
Okay.
in that. There's that one sequence where he just like punches the guy in the face.
Yeah.
Wow.
How'd you feel in that moment?
I was like, oh shit. Oh wait, this must
I
be a
did too.
dream, right? This must be a dream.
That's always the logic, but like the way it came so sharply out of nowhere and everyone's panic, and the fact that it lingered for like a second longer, I was like, oh my god, wait.
It lingered for so long. It like Simon's fist, like there was like no blood, or I didn't know how to believe it. I was just watching
he like disintegrated the face.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. But just talk about you mentioned how when you're watching a show and an actor's do a performance, you can't tell if like it's good or not. That was me watching Simon like act spontaneous with the other screen partner. But then Von Kovac's like, you're just doing Pretty Woman. I haven't seen Pretty Woman.
Neither have I.
So I was like, oh damn.
Which is why, like, when he starts, like, if you're gonna dress me like a whore, I'm like, I'm locked in. What is this?
Right.
I'm like, okay, cool. On the flip side, when Trevor's doing his performance, I love like he jumps in so quickly. It's just like because the other guy's like, I'm so mad at you, and he's like, you're just saying that because of what happened with your sister. No prompt, just jumped in on that. Like the improv is so good, and like his subtleness of like bringing in warmth within this feud. It's Ben Kingsley, so I think he has an Oscar.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Oh man, it's just the show, man. I was laughing. I was so emotionally invested in their relationship and just Simon's growth. I really liked him hitting the big time, watching himself, watching his dream really come to be. But even like Yaya's performance there in the finale was so perfect because he's watching his dream. He's got everything he's always wanted. But you can tell in the back of his mind, he's like, it's not with Trevor. So it's not as perfect as he had envisioned up to now. Because Joe Pantoliano, whatever.
Pantoliano
in there.
I think. Yeah. I think we might have lost Evan for a second here. Let me vamp. I do want to talk about Joe Pantoliano because that was a very like funny moment that scene. But also, it creates like a lot of like pressure on Trevor's side and how much Simon stands up for his new friend for Joe being so condescending. Let me add in real quick. Bam.
Oh,
one sec. There we go. What's up?
You have Joe in there. It's so hard. Like he's living in it. Everybody's congratulating him, and it's so heartwarming. His brother's there, but like Trevor isn't. And even though Trevor just betrayed him, just watching what Trevor did, like really, Simon feels so guilty. And it's just so beautiful. I just love that last scene. It's like, I'm taking you with me. We're out of here. And then that's just it.
Yeah.
Credits. I'm like, thank you. Like that's a perfect ending.
That's lovely. I also love just like the little extra detail that like he like was like stringing along the security guard for so long, but then like by the end he deposited anonymously so much money that he could even quit this job because it's so stressful on him. That's wonderful, dude. Like that's a hero.
That's a hero. That's some hero shit. That was wonderful. I thought it was like a random thing where like, oh, he's just learning to be a trucker. But then Jalen caught it. He was like, wait, he's probably part of damage control. I'm like, oh yeah, that's such a great. That's amazing. That's really, really cool. Oh yeah, how'd you like the whole damage? Because we didn't have like a true antagonist, but like we had damage control in here as our like central antagonist, and it was pretty solid.
Yeah, for sure. It's always been interesting running into this specific guy. In whether it's I think first it was No Way Home, and then Miss Marvel, and now here. where it does feel like we're just kind of like in like the hinder. It feels like a natural evolution from the overbearing strings of the Sokovia Accords to now this institution that's it's like either you're in check working with us or you need to be locked up instantly, because even like in this they established like, oh, our prison's like half empty, we got to meet a quota, and it's like that's never good in our world. That's where your focus is.
Yeah.
Never good. So there's that, but I think like the main guy, I'm blanking on the actor's name, but he does like a really good job in the role being just that annoying hindrance, and I'll be intrigued to see how things move forward, because Tremel Tillman in Brand New Day is supposed to be the head, like the head boss of the DODC. So that'll be intriguing to see the evolution of it there and its involvement within the greater present Marvel universe.
Yeah, I heard about that as well. So we'll see more damage control. We'll see how much damage they can control come Doomsday. It's like, oh shit. Yeah.
Interestingly, that probably is going to be an aspect of. They're probably going to factor in when Hulk loses his cool, is what I would imagine.
Good point. In Spider-Man, at least, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. Again, for me, this is a 5 out of 5 show. I fucking loved it. I loved it.
Do you have a favorite joke?
Not off the top of my head. No.
I like when they're in Joe's house, and Yaya's or Simon's standing up for Trevor. And he's like, "You suck, Joe Pantoliano." baby's Yaya's garbage. Even a baby couldn't make you sound. So
that shit was hilarious. That episode was so funny, man. Good shit. Good shit. And then to see it come full circle with Joe replacing Trevor at the end.
Mind you, not replacing him, but like when Simon's filming that scene, he has like the green tennis ball thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
Not that. Oh boy.
I also do like the little bit where it's like I don't do sequels, and like I was thinking the same thing. But if we were to do that, something we should discuss. Oh yeah, for sure.
That screamed like season 2 shit to me. I'm like, okay, yeah, we can get something going here.
Absolutely, man. I love that. Also, it's interesting that this was marked as Marvel Spotlight. I don't know what quantifies that headline for specific things. Is it just brand new characters? I'm unsure.
I think I was kind of surprised by that too, but I think it might just be the binge style, because they dropped it all in one day. Echo had the same thing, right? Where Echo was like a Marvel Spotlight, and that was also a binge format. So I think it's like if they drop it all in one day, it's a spotlight. But like if it's a weekly show like Daredevil, then it's not.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. And if you're dropped in the span of 2 weeks, like Ironheart, you're just there.
You're just fucked. You're just there. Anyways, let's end off on some Marvel rumors.
Rumor has it. Before I hop into my things, did you have anything marked down?
I had nothing.
Coward.
The only thing I had was that no Brand New Day or Avengers Doomsday trailers for Super Bowl week next week. Which was a widely considered rumor.
Yeah, I had kind of seen that like double explained from getting all these rumors from our boy Alex at Cosmic Circus. Like the pricing of like Super Bowl spots now came out, which like I think it used to be like $1 million, and now it's like 7 to 10 million. And they're like, yeah, those studios aren't gonna waste the time for that right there, especially when people are already discussing them so majorly.
Yeah, but usually I think I saw Trailer Track because Trailer Track was the one that first reported this in like November or December. That like, hey,
yeah,
we're hearing from our sources, and Trailer Track's usually right, and they heard from their sources that like the Avengers Doomsday full trailer or the Brand New Day, one of them will get a full release on Super Bowl week, and that's how usually it works. Like we'll get the full trailer like Wednesday or Thursday. And then on Sunday during the Super Bowl, they release like a 20-second version of it and say like, "Hey, go watch the trailer."
Yeah.
Something like that. Like they don't have to pay that much. Um,
Honestly, an
but
interesting
yeah,
thing to that point as well is that if you see something and then you get like advert that's like trailer online, and if that directs you to go watch a trailer online, then you can, as a studio, also upload a trailer, and then the YouTube algorithm will actually be like, oh, you watched the movie trailer, maybe you want to see this one that just
yeah,
dropped. So you just play the cards right, really.
exactly. So I thought that's what's going to happen because it worked out for like Civil War, for instance. That was a big one.
Yeah.
It happened in the past, but yeah, it's not happening this year for Sony or for Disney here for the MCU. I swore I said last week I was like, okay, we're definitely getting a Daredevil trailer, and we did because like it
Mhm.
was right after we got the Maul trailer and Invincible trailer. Like we're getting a Daredevil trailer pretty soon, and then we got one last week. And that's coming out in
Yeah.
March. So we haven't really gotten any movie trailers for anything coming out in July besides the Odyssey, which is a different story because that's Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
But like the latest trailers we've gotten for movies seem to be like Devil Wears Prada just got their second trailer. That's May 4th. Mando and Grogu has a trailer coming out in a few days. Um,
Oh,
uh, and that's going to be for the Super Bowl. But like the trailer's probably going to be out by Friday or something like that. But
sure.
that's like a end of May movie. So like we haven't hit like that June, July trailer watch yet. So I'm thinking late February now
Yeah.
for Spider-Man. Doomsday probably now March for their first
Yeah.
trailer. Hopefully
My
May. I can't wait.
I don't personally think this is going to happen, just to keep expectations in check. But some people also speculate that maybe they'll drop the brand new day trailer for the re-release of Into the Spider-Verse that's about to come out for theaters. Maybe, I
Mm.
don't know.
When's that release coming out? That
I
soon?
think I think in the next week or so.
Really? That soon? Next week? What? I
I
didn't know that.
th- I think I read that. Well, you have to fact check me there.
I'll look for it. Yeah, you keep on talking though. What rumors do we have?
Well, off the cuff, because it's kind of like avalanches into other things. There was a recent interview that had Ian McKellen, and he was talking about Avengers Doomsday, and he had mentioned that Magneto destroys New Jersey, and he's like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that."
Oh
So that
gosh.
was a little interesting thing to put in there. I imagine that's probably within his own world, not within Kamala's house, which is already kind of banged up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Most likely in like the in their own X-Men world's ending timeline. Um,
Yeah,
that's some powerful shit. Damn, is he on that like X-Men Apocalypse type shit from Magneto? Damn.
maybe. This is also interesting because that clip happened, and then Alex had said, like, oh, they were literally just taking everything from the OG Deadpool 3 script and just shoved it into Doomsday, huh? I don't know what the original script of Deadpool 3 was, but I guess it had like a lot more like X-Men uh craziness happening. So I could see them probably plugging that into Doomsday with having every X-Men around.
That works. Yeah.
So then going along this stuff was Alex had posted a comic book panel of Manhattan being flooded day after tomorrow style.
Damn. Okay.
And somebody had said and he retweeted this about this panel. It says, "Mind y'all, this panel happened because Magneto reversed Earth's magnetic poles. It wasn't Namor who did it." So this is a Magneto related thing as well. And then Alex got like super descriptive of explaining this post that of
Wow.
posting the panel.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting topic point because it brings up a couple interesting things.
Okay.
Uh, so in Doomsday, the X-Men universe we get to see in the movie is a variant universe where events similar to that of the OG trilogy and Days of Future Past occurred, just to make it simpler for the audience to not do that much homework. What is new is that this universe exists as a utopia for humans and mutants, but you have to wonder what exactly happened prior to that that allowed this utopia to exist. What sacrifices had to be made for the greater good? And that question is the general motif of Doomsday, not just for Magneto, but Sam, his Avengers, Thunderbolts, Wakandans, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Steve Rogers, Thor, Loki, and TVA variants we see in the movie, and most of all, Doom. What would you be willing to sacrifice to gain what you want, to succeed, to save the ones you love? Your morals, your beliefs, your powers, your morality, your life. The question isn't, are you prepared to die? The question is, who will you be when you close your eyes? Which is echoing the words Magneto said in the X-Men teaser. Interesting thing to discuss.
A lot to discuss there. Starting with the starting from the top. I think me and you kind of called it like
Mm.
the X-Men timeline, the one that again
Yeah,
this might be the same timeline that like we think that the Professor X and them they're in the same timeline that Monica's in, right? They're all
yes,
making
yes.
their own thing. But
Yeah,
they're like this is the same your same actors. They've gone through like the same shit from the movies just to keep
yeah.
everybody simpatico. Like that makes the
Yeah.
most sense.
It's
Nobody's doing their homework. Yeah,
right. It's the same thing that they do for Wolverine did in Deadpool 3, right? It's
yeah,
Wolverine basically experienced the same things. You even see like a memory flash of like clips from those movies, but then here's this new event that happened that didn't happen with your like old man Logan end of days guy. This is a new variant thing that he experienced that
yeah.
leads him to this mindset. This is a similar thing. It's like, yeah, we experienced like the similar events to the X-Men trilogy, but probably a bit more comic accurate looking, as well as the end times of Days of Future Past Sentinels, but we prevented it, and now some other events must have happened within the world that have led us to harmony between mutants and humans, but what had to happen to get there? What like insane sacrifices did some heroes maybe had to make morally within themselves to get there?
That part's very fascinating. Again, this goes back to a discussion I think me and you had. I mean, I don't know who else I would have this discussion with, but but in terms of like people are gonna have to sacrifice some shit. Like this is very close to if the Russos are doing Doomsday and Secret Wars correctly in terms of like echoing time runs out the Secret Wars from the 2015 run, um, like in the comic books where universes were literally dying and you had to pick like what would you sacrifice to save your actual universe. These tough choices have to be made, and that could be the friction that we see in this very in Doomsday. Like uh we don't know how the X-Men universe crosses paths with our universe outside of like that Monica connection, but just like they might want to save their universe. We want to save our universe. Like one universe is getting hoed. Somebody's got to go. Like we're not all going to be happy here, especially if this X-Men universe comes from a utopia. So they're doing pretty
Uh-huh.
well right now. So it's like
Yeah.
they're going to want to sacrifice a lot to get there. But yeah, it's interesting to see like what did they sacrifice to get that utopia. I didn't really think the movie was going to delve that deep in terms of world building. I thought
Hmm.
there could be like, hey, these are nostalgia characters. Now they're in our universe. I don't know how deep. I still don't know. Like, this is great to hear from Alex, but I don't know how deep this movie's going to get into like how this X-Men universe came to actually be. Like, I don't
Hmm.
know if we're going to get that deep of context behind it, but I do know, besides like how the X-Men got this utopia, I do know the sacrificing element makes a lot of sense as
Hmm.
your prevailing theme. Doom isn't just doing this for the sake of like glory. He probably lost something dear, or he wants to hold on to something dear, and he's going to have to sacrifice a lot and kill a lot to keep his dream alive. If they stick to actually writing Doom well, at least, which I have faith they will. They did a solid job with Thanos, who didn't have the most complex, motivation in the world. But it made a lot of sense for Thanos. So, just going to balance some shit, give him a flashback, and it works out. Thanos is a very memorable villain. So I think they can do the same thing for Doctor Doom.
Absolutely. Just kind of piecing through, because like a lot of these will be like quote tweet to quote tweet from like thread to thread. Essentially, Doom is going to be dabbling in a lot of quote unquote like the unknown within the universe, which mainly focus within like the realm of magic. So Alex has both WandaVision and Agatha all along being quite important pieces of follow through narratively within the context for the magic specific nature of the rules of the universe, right? Because Doom is going to be diving into not just technology but magic as well.
Agatha? Cat.
No, Agatha has a lot of magic. A lot of reality warping magic as well.
I can't think of anything lore-wise from Agatha's magic that wouldn't.
The Witch's Road, Evan. It's like the Dagobah Cave, but if you applied it to the multiverse.
If Doom mentions the Witch's Road, I would die.
Well, okay, so I had another thing. There is also a present rumor that Alex seems to be corroborating that Dr. Doom will report.
Oh, say that again. You cut out.
Oh, right on. Doom will reportedly have his own coven of witches and wizards in Doomsday.
Coven of witches and wizards. Okay, now that makes more sense to have.
Oh, now you fucking hear me, motherfucker. Yeah. Marvel's connected. Oh shit.
I mean, when you say like Doom has magic, so Agatha makes sense as like not homework, but a connective tissue. I'm like, you don't have to watch Agatha to understand the concept of magic. But having his own coven of witches and shit, like from Transylvania, but not Transylvania,
Salem.
No. What was Doom from again?
Latveria,
not Transylvania. Latveria, like witches and shit from Latveria. That'd be very interesting and cool. I would love that.
There's also, I don't know if this is like that very coven, but there was some very limited Doomsday merch being showcased at an event recently, and one of them had like 12 multicolored hooded Doom variants together.
Oh yeah. This was a very early Doomsday rumor where they're like the Avengers are going to be fighting different Doom clones, kind of similar to like how we thought the Avengers were going to fight different versions of Kang in the early drafts of the Kang movie. Which I thought would have been pretty stupid, but like I don't know. You need fodder. Doom clones doesn't get me too excited. It's like having Thanos clones. That would have been weird. But there's a lot of characters in this movie. They all need their own shit to fight against. So if it's cool, when you hear Doom clones though, Nathan, is each clone having a different like ability, or what do you think?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if it's like a matter of this is the one Doom who's like at the best of his ability getting his hubris out of the way to manipulate other Doom's hubris to string them along before casting them away to be the ultimate Doom. I don't know if that's a thing. That's just a off the cuff thought. I'm not entirely sure. I know there's a chance that like not all of them are going to necessarily be Robert, because I think one was supposed to be a female Doom for one of the variants in one of the earlier rumors.
I was thinking like automaton Doom, like robotic
Doom bots. I think we'll have those, but I think that will be like
Fodder,
if it
fodder.
comes down to like like an amassed army if we need that, and will be like very like full throughout Latveria itself for like a home base of Doom. But I don't know if they'll be like the primary like henchmen he's working. I think you may have like actual like Doom variants as it was reporting, but it could end up being bots. I just don't know why you would be like, and this is a fembot Doom if there is one.
Yeah. Oh, they have Gwyneth Paltrow being a female Doctor Doom. Funny as hell.
Sure. So interestingly, Alex did make a list of Marvel properties that would be have it the most connection to Doomsday if you were to quote unquote do homework. But he specifically like it's a list of all these, but specific ones have an asterisk of being the most important, while the rest are like this is where we last saw a character and whatnot. Would you like to hear the list?
Okay. Sure thing. That's why we're here.
Right on. I'll just point out asterisks of the most important. So he has 2012 Avengers, Age of Ultron, Endgame with an asterisk important, WandaVision asterisk, Loki season 1 and 2 asterisk, What If season
Loki
2
season
and 3.
2.
Oh, what? What If specifically seasons 2 and 3, Shang-Chi.
What?
It's a multiverse.
Wait, pause. like the multiverse is important, but What If was very random with their multiverse stuff.
Mind you, there's no asterisks on the What If, so.
Oh,
maybe
I thought you were naming
yeah.
that asterisk stuff.
I will. The asterisk ones are Endgame, WandaVision, Loki season 1 and 2, No Way Home, Doctor Strange 1 and 2, Ant-Man 3, The Marvels, Agatha All Along, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past makes sense. Ant-Man 3 without Kang?
Yeah, because I think just the general like multiversal worry that Ant-Man is cursed with knowledge about will probably be like an influence on his character within the realm of the film, and also Cassie's back as well.
Oh, good point. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the rest of them are just kind of a lot of the standalone stuff that we gotten through phases 4, 5, and 6, as well as Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy and X-Men 2 and 3.
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy because Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, Wonder Man's on the list.
Wonder Man's on the list?
Yeah, not asterisk, but he's on there. So is Ironheart.
The fuck? Ironheart?
Yeah, just Mephisto, baby. He's got his mom's soul.
That's fascinating. What was I gonna say? No Miss Marvel?
Is Miss Marvel on that list? Hold on. I believe she was. Give me. I backed out of the list.
Just give me a reason.
To answer your question, Miss Marvel is on the list, but no asterisks.
Okay. She better be in this movie, Russo's.
She's definitely in the movie. She's 1,000% in there with Kate and Cassie.
I hope so.
Alex had also back just finishing up with like the Wanda talk. He does say Wanda's fate will be revealed in Doomsday.
Wow!
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, that's what he says. Wanda's fate will be revealed. Rest assured.
Rest assured. I was thinking. What was I thinking? I was thinking Secret Wars in her solo movie in phase 7.
7.
Yeah.
7.1.
Is phase 6 really just 3 movies? That's crazy.
Spider-Man.
Including Spider-Man, right? Is it just Doomsday, Secret Wars, Spider-Man?
Fantastic Four started phase 6.
Oh, Fantastic Four. Okay.
And yeah. And then, the shows.
Okay. Oh man.
but yeah, those are those bits. Scrolling up a bit more. A couple other points. Real quick, this is a side thing, but like somebody had interviewed James Marsden, and he says X-Men fans will be blown away by Doomsday. He said you'll be seeing so many new things. The Russo brothers continue to up the ante, and Marvel is just giving everybody what they want. Now, Evan, I wanted to say, have you ever heard any instance where one of the Marvel actors gets asked like, "Oh, what do you think?" And then you're like, "Oh my God, what have they done to the character?" They're never gonna say that. So it's just always say like, "Yeah, it's every fan's gonna blow your mind. It's everything you ever wanted and more." Like you it's as if they invaded your dreams you never expected.
They went into your dreams and spat it out.
They
They're never gonna
inceptioned you
say.
to like.
um, they're never gonna say some bullshit. It's always gonna be stuff that the fans obviously want to hear. But again, I'm just super excited to see what the Russos gave for James Marsden. I'm a huge Cyclops fan, so can't wait to see what they're cooking with him.
Totally. Okay, so this is distilled down to a newer point about Doomsday that Alex was replying to somebody about in regards to talking about coming off of our discussion of like how like what did the X-Men world have to go through to get to the utopia, like what things.
Yeah.
Alex says here in Doomsday, it's almost an every universe for themselves type of situation where all the heroes will literally be pushed to the brink of their limits and morality, and some will even cross the lines they never thought they'd have to cross to get the job done, and that includes some unexpected betrayals.
Okay, let's go through that real quick. Again, that's pretty much in line to what we think is going to be happening here. Again, time runs out. A lot of heroes made some dark moves there. But usually when I think of that, I think of like Captain America. We don't have Captain America. I mean, we have Captain America, Sam Wilson. But knowing how he is so righteous, I don't see him crossing that line. Any of the Thunderbolts can do what they talk about. Like in terms of specifically certain characters. Can you read a line again? He said certain characters going surprising you with that.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Heroes will literally be pushed to the brink of their limits and morality, and some will even cross lines they never thought they'd have to cross to get the job done, and that includes some unexpected betrayals.
Yes, crossing the lines they never thought they had to cross. Unexpected betrayals. The only betrayals I'm thinking of is like the Namor betrayal, if that's even a betrayal. He's a villain.
I think I expect his betrayal at some
right?
point.
Who do we think's like Fantastic Four? Their daughter's on the line. They can do anything.
Somebody suggested the idea of Sue, and I think if that's like in the greater like aid of Franklin baby, that would be interesting narratively.
Yeah, like her son, her baby is on the line. I would betray anybody to get my baby back. So
somebody did, and he responded to this reply. Somebody said, "I'm assuming by unexpected betrayals you mean Strange." And Alex says, Strange has been teased by me and by others, not to mention semi-confirmed by leaked concept art. We did see one of those for like the medieval like courtroom with Doom. But Alex says, I'm talking real unexpected.
Yeah. But Strange's betrayal, is that a betrayal if it looks like it's in an alternate universe?
I don't think it'll be, I guess like, I think it'll be our like original characters' bodies and souls, but they are going to be merged in this newer Battle World universe, like Secret Wars is. I'm not.
Strange would never do that like willingly.
I imagine there has to be like a way, but also if there's like, we saw a lot of bad Stranges in Doctor Strange 2 that went down a path. He could, be susceptible to something, and we got to pull him back out.
All of those times is like, I was gonna say all those times are like universe ending reason, but now we are getting a universe ending reason.
Multiverse, every universe ending.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see there. But like he said, really surprising. I don't know. Black Panther, Shuri's on a darker path post Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Maybe her. I can't see anybody being from like Sam Wilson's Avengers. I can't see Sam Wilson doing that at all.
No,
I can't see Shang-Chi doing that.
people are people are like guessing it could be Steve, and that I imagine it's
Does it
not like
count?
something. I think it does count because Steve is such like an indomitable like fighting for what's right to the very end. But like
He he
if they're
was.
using he was, but like if well, I think he still morally is, but like if it comes down to a thing where like Doom is threatening the life of his child, that could just be manipulation.
Yeah, like he's an enigma. He's an X factor. I wouldn't say. I guess that would be truly surprising because like we haven't seen him in a couple years. But
Sure.
yeah, he's an enigma. I don't for some reason. Yeah, I don't really. That's a good guess because going into it, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I don't really trust him. He has a kid now. Same reason I said for Sue. If your kid's on the line, I will kill the world.
Mm.
And I can rest happy. I can
Okay.
rest
My
happy.
my Sue didn't say that. That's the exact opposite of her speech.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. But yeah, that's a great point. Because yeah, Sue's speech was all like, "You're all my." What was her bullshit? Like, "You're all my children," right? Something like that. Or...
Yeah, this is Freddy Krueger's famous line. No, but no, she said, "I will not sacrifice my child for this world, but I will not sacrifice this world for my child."
Yeah, which is bullshit. I would. Um, but like, um, yeah. So actually, yeah, you're reminding me of that line. So yeah, maybe Sue is out of the betrayal picture there, but at the same time, she said about her world. She's not in her world anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Does things change? Like she shouldn't care about 616 anymore. Or she shouldn't care at all about 616 if she
No, again, like Alex says, it's literally going to be like every universe for themselves.
yeah. So it's like if her baby and her universe are on the line, I can still see Sue betraying the 616, which is the universe
Mhm.
us as audiences really care about.
Yeah,
Um,
I literally would not blame anybody from their own universe fighting for solely their own because
right?
that makes and I think that will just create like interesting dynamics because we'll get attached to different universe characters and they'll be like, oh, but I don't want to see Toby lose his universe. I don't want to see the X-Men fall, like things like that. I don't want to see the Fantastic Four lose that. We just saved the world.
It's going to be hard for me to get emotionally attached to like. And I guess that this is the genius of bringing in somebody like Tobey Maguire because I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that universe, but I do care about Toby. Like, I do care about Toby. And
You don't care that
yeah,
it's just New York on its own without him.
yeah, it's just New York. It really like, that universe is like just New York. It's
But
a
if he
city.
has a family there,
Exactly right. Yeah, if he has a
Aunt
family,
May is still alive.
is Aunt May alive in that? Aunt May's dead in that universe, right?
Rosemary Harris is still around.
Really? Okay, I forgot. Okay,
She was she was on the front lines of the strikes.
So yeah. And then like the X-Men universe has got we've seen 20,000 X-Men universes in live action at this point. I'm sorry if I don't care about another one getting destroyed by Doom. So yeah,
This is the
that was a
last
bit
one.
tough.
This is the last one in existence. It's gone.
I
It's
know.
gone.
I said goodbye to that universe so many times already.
And you'll do it again.
So yeah,
To the end of your
we'll
days. Only other like real thing I have here is he had also tweeted out a clip from WandaVision, specifically when Agatha had a Wanda captured in the basement. She was explaining that the Witcher wizard who casts the runes within the room is the only one who can physically use magic within those rooms within that enclosed space. And I don't know if that's specifically going to be a reference to how Wanda's returning, or if that's going to be something that Doom is doing that will hinder other magic users. It's an interesting thing to speculate.
Interesting for sure. So Wanda coming back, or not. So my question is like, we'll get answers about what happened to Wanda. Do you think we'll actually see Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda in Doomsday?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
sure.
thought she wasn't going to be in this movie at all.
So say we'll all who are
Or
actually
we could see like, hey, we know what happened to Wanda as like a dialogue thing, and then we'll see her in Secret Wars.
sure that could definitely happen. And hell, we might even get like there was rumor that we might see a variant Wanda within the X-Men world because
Yeah,
her relation to
because
Magneto.
we've seen actors lie all the time, but like she seemed very sure that she wasn't going to be in Doomsday. Um,
Everything's well. I feel like if you are just like in as many properties by now, you're probably just like, yeah, I don't know, and I think you're fluent at saying that.
yeah, and then again, like you said, some actors who didn't film in 2025 are might have some reshoots now or
Yeah.
whatever.
There was also Halle Berry was recently asked if she's in Doomsday, and she's like, I am absolutely 100% open to returning, but as of right now, like, no, I'm not. Obviously, she can't say if she is because it's not announced, but also, I do not see a world where they have not tried to get her back, especially when she wants to be in it.
Yeah, that X-Men casting is still so weird to me.
A little
Like
empty.
little James
It's
Marsden.
so like for characters, I'll run down. We have
Yeah,
Cyclops, Beast, Mystique, Nightcrawler, uh, Eric and Charles, and Gambit. That's it. That's all that's confirmed
that's so
in the casting
weird.
announcement. Now we
Like
do know. I'm
it's so
pretty
man
sure.
heavy.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Deadpool and Wolverine are popping up in it. Um, but yeah, Mystique being the only woman, and it's like you telling me you're not going to get Jean with Scott. You're not going to have Storm of all people, like fully like Omega level mutant Storm realization. There's no shot.
Like no shot. Like I remember watching the chairs, and we're like, okay, cool. So up next is Femke Jensen, and it never
Yeah,
happened. We're like, what the
I
fuck?
know. Like they started like swaying back over and like, and here's John Walker. Wait, come back.
That was no Halle Berry Femke Jensen. Like you get two old guys. Like I get it. Magneto and Professor X are very important narratively,
Yeah.
but like having Cyclops would know. I would have arguably understood if they were like, here's Jean Grey and Storm, but no Cyclops. Like that would make more sense than just putting Cyclops in here. But like now we have
That makes
Cyclops
sense.
without any of
That makes sense
his
from
friends.
that makes sense from our experience of like sidelining Cyclops. But I think they're also wanting to like
Yeah,
spearhead. Oh, we're not going to do that anymore. So I think they're just like, and I think like they're also leading on the X-Men 97 iconography as well. It's the classic suit, and like Scott was like a big standout in 97. We're like, oh yeah, remember he's fucking the best. I think they want to like put that front and center too. Like we're doing it for real, and but I think we'll get others for sure. I think I'm more stunned because of the idea that we're getting like every past iteration of Marvel thing in here, that there are no like first class era actors seemingly even
yeah,
rumored. Which I'm like, that's a bummer because they're really good. Especially if we're making Days of Future Past semi canon. I'm like, well that's half the thing.
get more than half. Yeah, I mean, I would have. I was for sure that we would get at least James and Michael, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, at least them.
Yeah. Maybe Secret Wars by the time it's all said and done. Because I think there's even like a rumor right now that like we're gonna I saw a rumor. I don't know about the verified source, but it was saying like the final battle, circa I believe Secret Wars will be like in the realm of the void, which isn't like a great like aesthetic final battle place. But I guess neither was
That better
Endgame.
not be the case. That gray ass piece
Uh,
of
it is, but also again, if you watch Endgame, that shit is just barren. But
they should have
they're
learned
also
from that.
you're right, but like oh my god, the poor VFX artists that they had to plug more.
I know you're right.
uh and like because they also have to do like the power sets of every hero, and the rumor is also saying like we're gonna have a ton, basically every Marvel character you can think of, as well as characters not even yet introduced within the MCU, which I thought was also a little interesting tidbit. I don't know if that's referring to the new set of actors to come, like newer X-Men, or if that's just like here's a character like that's never been adapted. I don't know if it's either or.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, with the X-Men being like the first thing
Yeah,
they're
like
filming
here's
out
Morph.
the gate, like because the X-Men are gonna be the first big movie outside of like Black Panther 3,
Yeah.
that they're filming out the gate after Secret Wars. We could see some of those characters be in Secret Wars as like a small setup for what's to come. Possibly. But yeah, those are some interesting rumors that we got from Alex today. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty interesting. I think like the most interesting thing is like it's nice to get like context about the general world building of the X-Men, but I think like the whole idea of like people from their own universes being pushed to the brink, making decisions that are going to negatively affect into betrayals, but like it's all for the greater good to get the mission done from their own perspectives, and how that can morally corrupt oneself. It makes it, I think, far deeper of a compelling narrative than I think most people gave credit going into Doomsday, because it's like, oh, is the script even finished? The Russos can't make a good movie. But then I hear these ideas and their track record for these other Marvel properties, and I'm like, this is shaping up to be something really compelling, and not just like we're doing Endgame again.
Exactly. And is it McFeely and is it the same writers, right? McFeely and the other person?
I believe it's just McFeely, not Marcus. But
Where's
it's McFeely.
Marcus?
Sick? I don't know, but it's specifically McFeely and Waldron.
Okay. Wait, Waldron did what again? Doctor Strange 2?
He did Loki and Doctor Strange too, and I think he might have like aided. He'd been an assistant writer on Quantumania just because they're plugging more Kang stuff. But otherwise,
so Waldron makes sense as like a universe setter, and then McFeely understands like the character work. I trust him there more than like most.
And I think like they'll probably reach like it's interesting, right? Because there's like a similar thing where it's like when Infinity War and Endgame was coming out, it's like, okay, here's your core people, but you still have like individual producers like James Gunn, Jon Favreau coming in for their characters for consultation. I think you'll probably get like a Matt Shackman producing on this as well for Fantastic Four and WandaVision and stuff like that.
Probably a J.J. Abrams producing Bad Robot going on there.
Right. Yeah. What property would you have JJ do for Marvel?
Ooh, JJ would be fun for the Marvel Universe. I don't know. Oh man, that'd be tough. Give him Shang-Chi. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Honestly, thinking about like his ability of team dynamics within Star Trek, I think he could do pretty good on Avengers.
He's good with the cast of characters. He's good with the cast. Like if you want to do like a smaller, like a West Coast Avengers, JJ could be your guy for something like as fun as that.
West Coast lens flare.
West Coast lens flare, baby. Let's go. Yeah, sign me up for that. I am very excited for like post Doomsday, post Secret Wars Marvel. That seems just very exciting to me.
It's very exciting because I think like especially if you go off of recent development like Wonder Man, where it's its own contained story, it's exciting for like the idea of like, okay, we're back to zero, like the fresh like baseline personal stories. It's not a universe ending thing again and again. It's just this, which I think is also, I really want to rewatch Age of Ultron sometime. Even if you watch the first Avengers, it's like it's so just like this is the small core team doing like it's you're saving the world, but like it's just the world. It's not the greater universe.
Have we not watched any of the Avengers movies on stream?
No, we've just done Spider-Man.
That's crazy.
And we did the Guardians holiday special.
So Nathan, what are we doing this year? We got to watch. Do we just watch all the Avengers movies back to back?
Well, I mean, why don't we watch every phase and then also we watch every Blade movie and Ghost Rider and
fuck you.
What are you doing,
motherfucker? No, we're not.
We're watching all the X-Men again.
Oh no!
The Raimi trilogy revisit.
Revisit.
What? But what if I told you in that perspective, we've technically watched like half of the multiverse already?
We did. We watched a lot of shit.
Yeah.
We watched the whole Fox universe and most of the Sony Spider-Man, or all of the Sony Spider-Man stuff. So
it's funny. Like if we were solely doing movies, it is like an achievable thing we could do if we like break by phases. But because there's also TV, it's like fuck.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Maybe we follow Alex's list of like, here's these properties, where it's like a third.
Yeah, we can start like. What was our biggest one again? Was it Alien or Saw? I think the Alien Fox, or maybe the Fox X-Men was our biggest binge we've done.
Alien and Predator combined was like 13 entries, and I think that's our biggest. Saw is. We watched 9 of them. We haven't watched Saw X on stream.
We got to. I love James Wan, but he's getting me nervous for like his Saw reboot. I'm like,
oh, really?
Because like, it's like start fresh. I'm like, you can't start fresh with a guy who's like as old as Jigsaw. Like, we're gonna have to get to a point where you have to make those movies without him, right? Like,
maybe that's an idea. I don't know. Maybe you can't have Amanda or Hoffman take the reins because narratively they don't.
Yeah,
or Hoffman does, but then it's like we've seen it all.
How old is he? Toby? Is it Toby Kebbell? Not Toby Kebbell. Like Toby Jones.
Tobin Bell.
Tobin, thank you.
I think he's in his 80s at least.
83. Yeah. What do you do with that franchise without Tobin Bell? I love him. He's not. It's just
you record so many different narrative tapes for so many different types of projects that you could use. You don't AI his voice, and you just get like a hell of a backlog of recordings and like, hello, Agent Storm.
Yeah, you need somebody who just has like badass gravitas.
Yeah, I would have.
Fishburne would be really fun in that role, though.
That would be fun if we still had Tony Todd. He would be great on the tape.
Tony Todd would have been killer, man. He would have been killer.
Would have been really good.
But yeah, what else was I going to say? I want to leave the stream off by saying we didn't mention it so much in our Wonder Man review, but this was like every episode said like produced by, I think the first episode was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. Like,
right.
This gave me a lot of confidence. I was already like, me. I'm a huge Shang-Chi fan. I'm a huge fan of his other works with Brie Larson, Short Term 12. Right. He really understands like just natural, lived-in character work. I cannot wait to see what he does with like Peter Parker in like the vein of like what he does with Simon. Like that it got me so invigorated. I was watching an interview he had with discussing film, and he was like, I just wanted to live in Simon's headspace. I just wanted to live with Simon. That's our show. And I'm like, awesome. What are you gonna do with Spider-Man and Peter Parker? Like, and he says like there's a lot of like new sides of Peter that we haven't really explored about in a Brand New Day. So I'm just like, this movie is getting me more and more amped.
That's absolutely, and I think that honestly, something big to consider is the idea of like what he can do with pre-established characters within the realm of this, because literally both entries with Trevor, even his one shot All Hail the King, is all very like, oh haha, look at this guy, this is just silly actor man, and then this is like so deep and emotional, and to a point where he makes an incredible sacrifice for this friendship he made, where it truly is both of them are just kind of like, yeah, I have one friend and it's you, and we'll go to the ends of the earth to sacrifice our own selves and for each other. That's wonderful. So imagine like who in the realm of Spider-Man you can apply that to, how you could explore Peter's headspace, especially with the fact that we are having MJ and Ned return, and how that can affect Peter if he's like not actually able to have a friendship with them. My God, I cannot wait.
It's going to be such an emotionally charged movie. I'm so excited to see an official first trailer and more from that movie. But yeah, you guys can catch me on Twitter, Harris EV9. Talking all things Marvel, anime, manga, Star Wars, movies, TV. Surprisingly, it's February already. Black History Month, baby. This year's going by fast. A lot of great things ahead, so can't wait.
Right on. You can follow me at _TimeBlazer, making a show called Time Blazer with co-star and creative consultant Evan Harris.
Playing Ben, who might not be making a lot of sacrifices in Time Blazer yet. Season 1 yet. No.
He'll get the job done. Doomsday Warrior style. Fun fact: Yaya was like my live action pick for the character of Ben if I were to be so lucky originally. Cool. But then I pivoted to Tyler James Williams because honestly, he's really good, and also I think he's closer to Evan. And that's a compliment. I love him so much.
Tyler is so cool, man. He's such a great guy.
I wish he would be cast like a franchise role because he can do it. He's good.
He really could. Yeah.
That being said, if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you like button, subscribe not already, ring the bell, so you miss coverage on all things movie and TV. That being said, hope you have a great day. Catch you guys next time.